What is up? CraigerCoClassic here. I'm gonna give you guys a quick walkthrough of my I'm gonna give you guys a quick walkthrough of my 1968 F100. Short bed, single cab. You guys know what it is. So as you guys probably right off the bat, you guys are like 68, it's got a 67 grill, 67 hood emblem. It is a 68. I actually wrecked this a while back, story for another time maybe. And basically from the firewall on up. Shout out to Josh and many other people that actually helped me get this sucker back on the road many years ago. Let's start with the engine. Mild, stock probably, RV cam at best, 302 out of a Fairlane 1970 something. It has died on me. I plan on putting that in as well as mating that to a certain type of transmission. Booyah. There's a hint, ignition system from Speedmaster. This, as you guys saw in previous videos probably, I did a Champion radiator swap as well as, sorry, lighting's terrible, dual fan setup and a filter. As you guys can tell, I'm glad I'm running a filter. This engine's old and tired. Highly recommend it, go check these out. I had a carburetor problem, a fuel problem, because I added actually, I think it's from Speedmaster as well, an electric fuel pump. And this is from Speedmaster as well. I've been having fuel issues, so I was doing some test runs with this before the engine popped. Don't ask what that is. As for wiring, guys, I'll be fixing that when I do an engine swap. Down here, 7000 series, I believe, if I remember correctly. Speedmaster distributor, Speedmaster E-Core style coil. Yeah, you got one of those. Yep. Let's see if I can get that focused. That is my radiator coolant return. It's time for a new one. I better get to that ASAP. So this right here is a new old style. I always say it's like old school twin diaphragm booster with new school technology. Works really well. I did have to add that. I think my cam, I was losing vacuum, which is probably why the engine popped. Running shorty headers with a 3-inch outlet. These are eBay headers. Not a very good view. eBay ignition wires. I don't think they're name brand. It is mated to a C4 transmission, 9-inch rear end. Up front here, I'll say it again. 1967 steel grill, steel bumper off of a slick 1964. Fun fact. From my experience and from what I'm told, if you get a slick bumper and put it on a bump or a dent, they're narrower. Slick bumpers are narrower, bumpers are wider, dent bumpers are even wider. And since dents are more plentiful, at least when it comes to chroming, if you buy a bumper from a factory, chances are you're getting a dent bumper. So moving on from there. L.e.d lights, vintage L.e.d front and rear. Oh, how have I forgotten? So, old school 90s wheels. I love them and hate them at the same time because they're always dirty. This is so when I got it, it was drum brakes, twin I-beam. It is now twin I-beam, stock beams. I'll mention why it's low here in a minute. Out of a 1974 F1, I think it was F150 dent. So, they're disc brakes, which is really what I wanted. I went with an Adco front sway bar. Also, to why it's lowered, I did not go fancy dancy. I actually found that from other people in the Ford F100 World group that you can run Explorer coil springs on these and they drop them down. This is dropped, I think it dropped about 3 inches, and that drop is variable based on probably your engine and so on and so forth. It definitely has to do with weight. And I also cut a coil off each side. Love it, nothing rubs, perfect. Let's go in here. Terrible lighting. You are welcome. Anyway, let's actually lighten this up a little bit. Here we go. A little bit less. Okay. Right here, as you can obviously tell, F600 gauge cluster, all stock gauges. I've got a Mustang Rally Pack right here. Looks like it works, but it doesn't, or at least it tries to work. This, it's hard to tell the difference, but this is off a Slick. They are not much different. It's just what I had laying around, and it fits actually the, I believe this is a 70 to 72 column. As you can tell, it's an automatic. If you go down here, you see a third pedal. Future video of not adding the pedal, but what I'm going to be using it for, just guess. These right here, I love them. This carpet as well as these. Sorry, it's dirty. I always apologize for that, yet I clean it so much and it's always dirty. These right here, Auto Crafters AC Company carpet. Mustang bucket seats. They do make brackets for these. You can head in multiple places. I recommend Auto Crafters. Early 60s Falcon console. Freaking love it. I went real fancy with retro sound stereo. Love it. Bluetooth, everything. I don't listen to music much, but I love it. Representing my club Pharaohs. If you guys don't know where that's from, you must have been in a hole for the last 30 years. Booyah. Up top here, got I forget the name brand. But I'm rocking this headliner. I did videos on installing this. It's wired up. Right here is a switch. None of these are operable right now, but they plan on running for me to be able to start from here if I choose to. We'll definitely run fan as well as my fuel pump. Everything will be run from here. Love that. I can't wait to get that hooked up. I actually saw this on somebody off of the Ford F100 World groups on Facebook, and I did that. Freaking love it. You gotta have the gauges. These gauges are good, but I like to have specifics. This paint job, man, flat black, rattle can. Again, sorry for the visual here. The lighting is fantastic. Rockin' the social media groups. Love it. Plan on painting that flat black, possibly pinstriping it. Right here, I needed a gravity fed tank. So I went ahead and, though I'm not a hot rod kind of guy, I definitely respect them, and this is one thing I've always loved about hot rods. Got myself a keg, did a video on installing this as well. Also had this made, love it. Future videos, way future videos, plan on replacing this floor with something. I will tell you that later. This bed is actually a 67 bed, you can tell because it is solid. Now this isn't the bed, but you can tell the metal changed a little bit in the bumps, and they made it tough back then. So I'm glad I'm not racing this thing because it's heavy. I'm sure you guys are gonna ask, the tire setup, 295 50R15s, and I think these are Eagle alloy wheels. The exhaust is coming right out the side there on both sides. It is a Flowmaster 40 series dual with an H pipe. I think 2.5 inch pipes. It's very throaty. There's other videos if you guys want to look for them on how it sounds. I like it. Definitely sounds like a truck. Underneath here, which you guys won't be able to see, you guys can kind of see right there, I got a rear ADCO sway bar as well, and I also went ahead, just for fun, this sucker's not performance at all, I went ahead and added traction bars, old school traction bars I found at a swap meet. So actually, if you're watching this video, I'll give you a quick sneak peek of something. Okay, that's all I get to see. Future video. This door has some rust on it. Definitely did a video on how to take out the vent window as well as the windows and how to take this apart. It's a little bit tricky. I did a video on that. You guys check that out too. Another future video. Those are fat. Don't mind those wheel spacers. Another future video. Another future video. I did another video talking about this engine. Check that out. Definitely, if you guys want to see more on this truck, like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. If you're on another social media platform, follow, all that jazz. I just do information on these trucks. I love putting this information out there. If you're wondering about the coil springs, did a video on that as well. Did a bunch of videos on the interiors when it comes to the radio, carpet, headliner. Did videos on those as well as the keg. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Appreciate you guys watching. See ya.